Hello again. Today I'm going to be having 4 AI chatbots generate a $1 meal and a $1 million meal, and 2 other meals in between that nobody would care for. As always, for these types of videos, I'm going to give each AI the same prompt, and at the end they'll vote on who made the better meal without knowing who exactly made it. Also, real quick, I just want to say big thank you to everyone for 600 subscribers. I wanted to say thank you for 500, but we already flew past that. The growth has been insane, so thank you guys a lot. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, first AI to start us off, if it isn't obvious, we got ourselves ChatGPT. And I already got a prompt on my clipboard, so let me just go ahead and paste that. And we are starting off with the $1 meal. So generate an image of a $1 meal of your choice. Now go ahead and save that for now. Alright, let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Creating image. $1 meal on a red tray. Okay, not gonna lie, ChatGPT, that's a bit too nice, especially for today's economy. On the left side, we have a hot dog, chips, and cola. Why is there a chips packet? And then we just got what looks like something from out of McDonald's for $1. Now, I can't use both images, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to pick one. So if you had to pick one, what would you pick? What would you eat, ChatGPT? I picked the hot dog, chips, and cola. Okay, so the left one. This is what ChatGPT is going with for their $1 meal. Alright, not too bad. Go ahead and save that. So now, ChatGPT, I need for you to generate not a $1 meal, but a $100 meal of your choice. Bit more expensive. And yeah, I think I'm just going to do all of them at the same time. So, you know, this video won't be too long. Alright, the luxurious surf and turf feast. That looks really good. Look at that, we got ourselves a nice steak, we got some shrimp, lots of shrimp on top of mashed potatoes. That is really good. They even added the lemon and wine. Alright, actually not bad for $100. I know because I never had it. Alright, save that. So now for our third meal, moving on from $100, so now I ChatGPT to generate a $10,000 meal. What is it going to come up with? Alright, it's creating 2 images again, so I gotta ask it to pick one. But let's see, a lavish dinner with caviar and gold for the left. What about for response 2? Oh, okay, that is good. And this is just $10,000. What will it come up with for $1 million? This is a complete feast, bro. Everything is literally solid gold. Well, almost solid gold. But again, I do need ChatGPT to only pick one. So if you had to pick one, what would you choose? The ChatGPT here is saying if I had to pick one item. I meant entire images, not just food. But I assume this is what ChatGPT wants, just because it automatically switched to this one alone. Alright, if this is what ChatGPT is going for, I like it. But now finally, let's ask ChatGPT for a $1 million meal. This is what it came up with for $10,000. What can it do with $1 million? What can I expect? Okay, come on, ChatGPT. Extravagant seafood feast with luxury accents. And okay. Still staying with solid gold. Oh wait, never mind, those are diamonds. And if it isn't obvious, it even threw in the $1 million right there. Bro even added money. Yeah, okay, that is definitely a $1 million meal. Very nice, ChatGPT. So yeah, here is all 4 meals ChatGPT generated right here, going from $1 to $1 million. We'll go ahead and see how they do later on, but let's move on to our next contestant. Alright, up next, generating some meals, we have Gemini. And just like how ChatGPT started off with $1, Gemini is also going to start off with $1. So generate a $1 meal of your choice. What does Gemini have in mind? If anything. Okay, this is a bit of a different approach. So ChatGPT generated a hot dog, some chips, and some Coca-Cola or whatever. Gemini, on the other hand, generated a bowl of ramen, a piece of bread. What is this, coffee? Not gonna lie, I prefer this. But yeah, so far, great start. Let's see what it can do with $100. Generate a $100 meal of your choice. Now, will we stay with ramen or, okay, something a bit different? Not crazy luxurious like ChatGPT, a more realistic approach actually. It also looks like we have ourselves a giant juicy turkey. And then of course, you can't forget a glass of wine. Alright, very good. Now from $100, let's go to $10,000. This is where things start to get interesting. Let's see. What will Gemini cook up this time? For $10,000. And, okay. We even got ourselves a personal butler. Don't know why, but yeah, this is definitely $10,000 worthy. Bro's even inviting all of us. How kind. Surprisingly not over-exaggerating on the gold. Why do we just got a realistic pig covered in gold? Okay, let's just see how this does. Looks pretty good. Let's now see what it can do with $1 million. Alright, so this is what ChatGPT did for $1 million. What about Gemini? Will we start to get some over-exaggerating gold? Or diamonds? Alright, it's taking a little bit. Okay. Alright, Gemini also clarifying this is $1 million. What is this supposed to be though? I have no idea. And a personal chef is still here. Or butler, I don't know. Not too crazy on the gold, I'm surprised about that. Pretty realistic. I don't know if this is worth $1 million. If a millionaire is watching, let me know if this is worth $1 million, because I don't know. But yeah, pretty good. Here's all 4 of the meals Gemini generated for you guys right here. And again, we'll see how these do later on. So let's now move on to our third contestant. Alright, so for our third contestant, here we have Grok. Now, the last time I did one of these videos, Grok got a vote from everybody, well, including himself. So, Grok does know what it's doing. But what about this time? Let's ask it to generate an image of a $1 meal. What will it come up with? Alright, looks like we got 2 images. And, okay. Now, I wouldn't really say this is worth $1, but if that's what Grok thinks, well, I mean, this is Elon Musk we're talking about. That looks well over $1. But I only need 1 from Grok. So what will it pick? Alright, I'd go with the left one, the grilled chicken breast with roasted veggies and fresh salad. Okay, yeah, good pick. I think Grok also chose left last time and that's what got him the win. Okay, pretty good start so far, really good start. If that's what Grok can do with $1, what can it do with $100? Also, after generating, just pick the image you like the most so I don't have to enter another prompt. Alright, let's see what it can do. Okay, I think these are the exact same. It's just a steak with some roasted veggies. Only difference though is that we can actually see the wine glass on the right better. But you didn't answer my other question. Which of these images would you prefer? Between the 2 original images you shared, I prefer the first one, the version with the warmer, more inviting restaurant atmosphere. Yeah, I kinda figured. Alright, that is what we're going with for Grok's $100 meal. Pretty good. Let's now see what Grok can do with $10,000. If anything crazy. Alright, that was fast. It almost looks like the images are connected to each other, they're pretty similar. Surprisingly, no over-exaggerating on the gold. But I do need to ask again, which of these images do you prefer? And it looks like Grok's is going with the first one, again. Never the second one, I wonder why. Alright though, this will be Grok's $10,000 meal. It does look really nice. But finally, what can Grok do with $1 million? Let's see what Grok will do. Okay. It's a bit just like Gemini's. There's nothing too crazy going on. But once again, I need to ask, which image do you prefer? And he'll probably say left. Yup, the first one. I should have seen that coming. So this will be Grok's $1 million meal. So yeah, here is all 4 meals Grok generated for you guys on screen. They look pretty good. And last time Grok got the win, so let's see if we can do it again. Let's now move on to our next contestant. Alright, so for our 4th contestant, here we have Copilot. Now with these types of videos, Copilot really has not been the luckiest. So hopefully you know today Copilot will have its little redemption arc. Alright, just start off by generating a $1 meal of your choice. Cooking up a budget-friendly bite. Okay, let's hope it's good. Oh, I see it. I see it coming. Any second now. This may take a minute or 2. Yeah, it'll also take you a minute or 2 to lose. Alright, it doesn't get more $1 than this, I'll just say that. ChatGPT's look better, but let's not judge just yet. Let's see what Copilot can do with $100. Crafting a descended dining scene now. And I will just dramatically have to watch him make it. Okay, this is sure fun. Okay, we are getting fancy, I see a wine glass. Okay, now I'm starting to see it. Much better. But for $100, I mean, it's okay. Let me see that receipt. Lilale, $4. Lil Kidder, $20. Oranter, $0. Lycian Pell, $50. Dalton, $30. And what is this say? Shrive-a-day. What is this Shrive-a-day? What on this plate is Shrive-a-day? For $100. Nah, the math ain't mathin'. Okay. I'm kinda scared to see what you'll do with $10,000. Hopefully, it's good. Crafting an opulent culinary fantasy. Very intriguing. Will it live up to the hype? Or will it not again? Alright, for $10,000, this better be something good. You even got the price tag right. I hope it adds another receipt. Okay, not too bad. But now for $1 million. Copilot, I'll admit you need to redeem yourself on this one. If you don't cook up something crazy, you're on smart mode by the way. I didn't even change anyone's mode yet. Okay, this just looks like a $10,000 meal. Who knows, this could secretly be worth $1 million. I mean, the money's right there. United States of America. I'll be surprised if one AI picks this. Yeah, here's all of Copilot's meals right here from $1 to $1 million. Hopefully they'll do well. But yeah, now that all 4 AIs have generated their meals, it's time to do some voting. We're going to be voting on each category individually, meaning we'll be starting off with the $1 meal, and whoever has the most total points at the end will win. Alright, starting off the $1 meals, we'll have ChatGPT vote first. So which of these 4 meals do you prefer? We'll ask it that. Alright, meal number 3. If I had to rank them personally, alright, meal 3, meal 4 second. Alright, that is surprising. Meal 1 in last. Just for reference, that is what ChatGPT generated. Okay, interesting take. But so far, Grok leads with 1 point. And now let's just go ahead and ask Gemini. So which of these 4 meals would you prefer? If I were choosing based on flavor and nutritional balance, I would definitely pick meal number 3. Alright, so also going with Grok's meal. So far for the $1 round, Grok has 2 out of the 2 points. But now let's actually see what Grok prefers. He generated the meal that is currently winning. So, meal number 4, the classic cheeseburger with fries. Wow, okay. That is what Copilot generated. So Copilot is now surprisingly on the board. Never thought I'd see that. And Grok ranks his meal in 3rd place, with Gemini's being last place. Alright, to end off the $1 round, let's now ask Copilot. So which of these 4 meals do you prefer? If I were choosing based on nutritional balance and overall health appeal, meal 3 would be my pick. Alright then, I guess it settles it. For the $1 meal round, it looks like Grok definitely takes this one. However, Copilot did surprisingly get 1 point, so Copilot's in 2nd place. But now let's move on to round 2, the $100 meal. And as always, I'm going to go ahead and start off with ChatGPT. Now this is where things get really fancy. So which of the 4 meals would you prefer? Meal 1, okay. But the runner-up would be Copilot. Alright, looks like I'm sorry I trash talked you, Copilot. Dang, Copilot is close. But yeah, meal number 1 is ChatGPT's own generation. And so far that is in the lead. Okay though, let's now ask for Gemini's opinion. Which of these 4 meals would you prefer? What will it pick? So if I had to choose based on presentation and variety, I'd lean toward meal number 2. And just to remind you guys, Gemini generated meal number 2. These are new chats, by the way. They don't know they generated this stuff. But so far, ChatGPT and Gemini now have a point. The first point this entire competition. But alright though, what about Grok? Let's see if Grok is going to vote for its own meal also. For reference, Grok generated meal number 3. Number 4. The one with the messed up receipt. Okay. I thought Grok was definitely going to pick its own meal, but I guess not. But according to Grok, the others are strong contenders. But this now means Copilot is now on the board, so ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot are tied. Alright, let's see what Copilot decides here. Are we going to have a complete tie or something else? Alright, Copilot is picking its own meal. Meal 4. Now this right here means Copilot wins the round. I never thought I'd see that. But now we are moving into the $10,000 meals. And once again, we're starting off with ChatGPT. So once again, out of the 4 meals, just tell me which one you would prefer. Alright, meal number 2. So the one Gemini made over the one ChatGPT made itself. Alright, Gemini already on the board. Good start. But now let's go ahead and ask Gemini. Will Gemini pick the same meal? Number 2. I'd lead toward meal 4. I really underestimated Copilot. It's the most simple out of the other 3, and it got Gemini's vote, so I'll give it to Copilot. I guess I should not have talked dirty. Anyways though, right now that means Gemini and Copilot are tied for first. But now let's go ahead and see what Grok chooses. If I had to pick one of these 4 luxurious spreads as my personal favorite, I'd go with number 1. Okay, going all in with number 1. Definitely most detailed. That's what it has to say about its own $10,000 meal. Number 3 has beautiful refined plates. Nothing about the food, just, wow, nice plates. Okay, this means everyone besides Grok has a point now. So now to end off this round, let's see what Copilot chooses. So which of these 4 meals do you prefer? Meal 4 still has my vote. Okay, well, I really underestimated Copilot today. Along with the $100 meal round, Copilot has also now won the $10,000 meal round, meaning it now has 2 points. The only way Copilot could lose right now is if Grok wins the $1 million meal round, and a tiebreaker decides Grok over Copilot. Speaking of that, let's now finally move into the $1 million meal round. And once again, to start us off, we have ChatGPT. Let's see what it votes for the $1 million meal. Okay, ChatGPT is going for image number 3. So Grok's $1 million meal. Alright, to start us off, Grok already has 1 point. Remember, if Grok does win this round, we go to a tiebreaker. Alright though, let's now go ahead and ask Gemini. What's Gemini going to pick? Also dish number 3. Both ChatGPT and Gemini are choosing Grok's dish. But I'm curious, what does Gemini think about its own dish? Remember, it generated dish number 2. The setting with the city skyline and its chef makes it more like an experience than just a meal. Kinda negative compared to what it has to say about dish number 1. And then also dish number 4. But yeah, so far Grok has 2 points. But now, what about Grok itself? Will it also pick number 3? I'd go with number 1. Okay, so once again, Grok just being over the top and picking ChatGPT's. But now this means one of 2 things. Since Grok voted for ChatGPT's meal, that automatically means Grok wins this round. This also means we go to a tiebreaker. Before we do that though, just for fun, let's see what Copilot would vote for. Before we get into our special guest judge. Meal 4 still has that magnetic pull for me. I feel like Copilot secretly knows it's his own meal, considering the fact it's been voted for by Copilot 3 times, I think. Also, I kid you not, these are still new chats. But the vote doesn't really matter anyways because Grok did win this round. But now since we're at a tiebreaker, I now need to ask a 5th judge. And this judge will look at both Grok's meals and Copilot's meals. And that judge is Perplexity. And unfortunately cannot generate images for us today. So it's going to be our special judge. And once again, Perplexity is going to be voting behalf on all of Grok's meals and all of Copilot's meals. So everything, let's see what it says. And it says that Copilot's set looks more appealing overall. Copilot's lineup seems more satisfying and memorable from start to finish. So yeah, there is all Perplexity has to say regarding Copilot and Grok's meals. So with that, congrats to Copilot for winning today. Sorry I doubted you. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. But make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.